Hello, welcome back designers, creators, researchers, whichever category you find yourself. In today's class, we'll be discussing ideation, one of the most important stages in every UX design journey. If you've concluded your previous challenges, like the PRODs, the UX research, if you have analyzed your data and identify your problems or problem statement, then ideation is the stage where everything starts to make sense. You have, at least if you are watching this video, that means you have concluded with your PRD creation and you have conducted your UX research, and you are in the third flow, in the third project of this challenge, which is AI powered POS system. And the third stage of this challenge that you're working on is ideation and flows. I will be discussing more on ideations because I think if you have been following me on my previous challenges, I discussed on user flows in one of the challenges. If you still don't know what a user flow is, you can check this one and go to user flow diagram. This is where I discussed about user flow diagrams. But today we'll be talking on ideations. I will be discussing more on ideations. So let's get into it. So what is ideation? Ideation is the creative phase in UI UX design where you brainstorm and generate as many design ideas as possible. In this process, you are allowed to explore as many possibilities as possible. It is okay to think widely and push your creativity beyond the first idea that pops into your head. In ideation, no thoughts or ideas are wrong, crazy or foolish. In ideation, you can explore, you can sketch, you can break things apart and discover better solutions so long as you get the job done. So ideation, when you are doing this practice, there is no idea that is crazy. You are expected to think as wild and as wide as you can. So this is what ideation is all about. Just brainstorm, get ideas, find a way to get the job done, get as many ideas as possible that is surrounding the problem or the solution you are trying to figure out for the problem. So why does ideation matter? Ideation is important because it prevents you from locking yourself into one direction too early. This is why we usually say you don't just jump into Figma and start designing when you are given a project. These are the steps that you take to give an amazing design. If you jump this process, it will tell on the design. Everybody will know. Like me, if I see a project that is designed with an AI, many of the times I know that this is done with an AI. But when you give your mind stress, you think out as many ideas as possible and you come out with a golden, very unique solution. So this is the stage where many designers miss it because they skip this step and jump into Figma immediately. Like I said, when you jump into Figma without doing your homework, it will always tell on the project or the design you are doing. So this is what ideation helps you to do. Ideation helps you to break assumptions. It helps you to explore multiple angles. In ideation, you can challenge your first idea. You don't just get the first idea and you run with it. You get your idea and you break your idea down. You find a way to fine-tune it, and you can even attach new ones before you know it to come out with one of the best ideas. It helps you to see the relationship between the problem and the solution. It opens your eyes to features that will serve the user needs and then discard the ones that don't or won't. So you might even get your first idea and you will figure out during your ideation practice that this idea doesn't even make sense. We don't even need it. This is what ideation can help you do. So there are different ideation styles or different approaches to practice your ideation. The first one is called the brainstorming ideation style. I will not really go deep into explaining these techniques, but you can look it up because each of these techniques can contain an extra 10 minutes video. I will be dropping or doing a quick overview of each of these ideation practices. You understand? But I'm not really going to go deep into all these because of our time. I don't want to waste your time, but if you feel like you need more understanding on it, you can just look it up, probably on YouTube or any other resource you can find. Maybe I will find a way. You can reach out to me. I will drop as many resources as possible that you may be needing for it. So the various ideation practices that I know are brainstorming. You know, in brainstorming, you write or you say out your ideas raw and unfiltered. It's usually done with one or more people in your team. So it's recommended sometimes you brainstorm with people who share and understand the product idea, or you do it alone. In brainstorming, we usually say quantity first and quality later. So here, just come up with as many ideas as possible, whether it is for the product or not. But it is usually recommended that you do it alone, or at least with a few teams who understand the mission or the vision of the product you people are working on. So there is the one we call the Crazy 8 ideation practice. This one is mostly for big companies who have the budget. If you have the budget for this, you usually give very quick results, because this Crazy 8 exercise is a marathon where you fold papers into 8 sections. So you draft or sketch 8 ideas in 8 minutes. So this one is one of the fun parts of ideation practice. If you do it as friends, that's in a team where you people have a very good synergy. You can drop ideas in 8 minutes. You can give your mind this task to do it in 8 minutes. In this kind of practice, you have less than 10 minutes to think out results, and it's really powerful and very fun. You understand? You must be more than one person before you can do this kind of exercise. So like I said, if you have the budget for it, you people can find a secluded area, a serene place, and think out your ideas as fast as possible. You can be 8 persons, and imagine we are 8 people in a team come together and bring out 8 ideas, each of them 8 ideas, different ideas that another person have not actually talked about. So 8 different ideas for a particular product. You people are going to come up with very powerful ideas. So another ideation practice is called mind mapping. In mind mapping, this is like thinking in branches, where the lead researcher drops or writes a problem in the center, like a product goal, a core user need, a pain point, or a problem. And then from the center, you now create branches, and each branch is representing a major category, like user pain points, MVP, feature, goals, opportunities, constraints, emotions, business needs. It helps you to think clearly, visually, and creatively. So in this mind mapping, it's like you drop a problem at the center, and then ask people to write out solutions, sketch out solutions for this problem around it. You understand? This is the guys, this is the problem we are facing for this product. Please drop your solutions around it. People start sketching their solution. It's like a tree at the center, and then with the branches. So that's what mind mapping is all about. We have storyboarding, we have concept sketching, we have worst possible idea, we have feature dumping. You can look each of them up. Because of our time, I will not be explaining all of them. Okay, let me touch on storyboarding. Storyboarding is the concept of telling your problem and solutions in a sequence of stories. Because human mind is always intrigued and fascinated with stories or by stories, and picture problem and solution faster when you tell it as a story. This approach helps to show how users will interact with your product, visualize the emotions of the user, and motivations and action points. So when you tell a story of a problem, it helps people to tell a story of the solution. While we are growing up, they will tell us a story, and then they will tell you, what did you learn from this story? So this is exactly what it looks like in storyboarding. You drop your problems like a story, and people connect the solution to your problem like a story. So this is another beautiful practice in ideation. Okay, what should ideation produce by the end of this section? By the end of every ideation section, these are the things you are expected to, the results you are expected to get. Like you are expected to get as many multiple rough concepts as possible. You are expected to get early thinking around features and MVPs, early ideas, early thinking around features. What this means is you need to, at the early stage before you start designing, you will have some features around your projects that you are designing. As many as possible, features that are as many as possible, or MVPs that are as many as possible around that particular problem. So features serves as the solution, or MVP serves as the solution to the problem you are working on. You need to also have various layouts and flow ideas. So like I used to tell you that when I'm done with my research, this is one of the ways I picture how the solution will look like, design that I'm working on will look like. I already have it in my mind after this ideation practice. You understand? And then it gives you a clearer direction. Like I said, it gives you a clearer direction before moving into wireframes. So wireframes, after ideation, making wireframes will be easy. Making lo-fi design will be easy. You don't need to think too much. You don't need to overthink it. You see yourself sketching wireframes as many as possible and discarding the ones that may not fit into the solution of the problem you are solving. And skipping this ideation is like trying to build a house without exploring different layouts first. You understand? It's not really going to work. I know that AI is making design easy and is pushing out designers, but every core UX researcher cannot be pushed out of the market. Trust me, anybody who is very good with UX research cannot be, because UX research on its own is another branch of design. It's in another career on its own. That's the right word for it. It is another career of its own. So it can never be overemphasized. You understand? So how does ideation connect to the design process? Ideation sits right between research and wireframing. Like I told you, after ideation, you already have an understanding of what you are working on. Research tells you what the problem is, while ideation helps you to figure out how it could be solved. You get? So ideation sits right between research and wireframe. While research tells you what the problem is, ideation helps you to figure out how it could be solved. Then wireframing now shows what that solution might look like. That's all. So these are the 3 stages of design that if you do well, you are going to be a badass UI UX designer. No doubt. Every solution you give will be a bomb. The user will feel it, like will immerse into that solution like they have been using it before, because you are designing to solve a problem, and when you solve a problem, you make money for the company you are working for. I don't know if we have any more things to talk about. Anytime I'm working on ideation, I think that's one of the best parts. You are not supposed to use all the concepts, like all the approaches. You can decide to choose 1 or 2. 1 or 2 is okay. You can even do 1. While the ones I love doing is the brainstorming and the crazy 8. So you can choose your better devil or your better evil, the one that you love most, and you run with it. Thank you and have a very beautiful day.